Hello everyone and welcome to another StarCraft 2 match. This one's going to be between Legacy, spawning as a red Zerg, and his opponent's going to be LiquidJinro, spawning as a blue Terran. And this is going to be one of the newer maps because I haven't been casting StarCraft 2 for like over 2 months. So this map is Lost Temple, but I'm not pretty sure what's the name of it. Not sure exact the name of the map, but we all know it's Lost Temple because it looks exactly the same, except there's a little bit... It's a little bit modded right here because there is no more high ground over here for the siege things, and which makes for the Zerg player a lot easier to like kind of expand. And yep, these two guys are Korean, and let's see what they're gonna bring to the table. And I see smiley face coming from LiquidJinro, which is really nice, being polite to each other, which is really cool because most of the StarCraft 2 players are really not. I mean, they're not really polite, especially Hydra. Hydra's just gonna rage on your ass. I don't know, he's really mean. I'm just teasing you guys, but he is. And these guys just gonna have conversation since seems like they have not been playing a lot each other, but this is gonna change because this is only game number 1 between these two players, and this is, I guess, best out of 3. So I'm gonna try to cast all 3 games between these guys, and this Overlord is probably gonna be making over here eventually. And LiquidJinro is gonna be getting barracks is kind of on the low ground for a little bit of extra protection, or maybe just put a couple of siege things on the high ground, just to protect supply depot over here. And he should be getting refinery pretty soon, but Legacy's just drawing it up, doing nothing. Probably going to be getting an expansion since he has like 300 minerals, and yes, he's going to be getting expansion before the spawning pool, so he's going to be going 14 hatch, 15 pool, I guess. And gonna go scouting his drone, going to the LiquidJinro's base, and oh, he's gonna try to poke at that drone a little bit, but these two guys are gonna be battling out. That guy's gonna get drilled, and this drone's gonna be just leaving the place, just chilling. And this SCV is gonna be wandering around, and yep, Legacy's finally getting a spawning pool, and LiquidJinro saw that, so he can put a little bit of early pressure, getting an early marine out, and trying to push out, do a little bit of damage. But Jinro's gonna try to get a... He needs to get an expansion because he saw that the hatchery was before the spawning pool, so he's gonna try to catch up in economy by getting his own expansion so he doesn't fall behind Legacy. And yes, he is gonna be getting his own orbital command center, and orbital command is finished, but there is still no refinery coming in from LiquidJinro, so I'm kind of surprised because he should be getting some gas, but he's not. He just got a marine out and just a command center. That's it. Still no gas from LiquidJinro. And these drones, man, what are these guys are doing? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't even know what Legacy's doing. He's trying to play. Oh, he actually was transferring drones over to this expansion and was trying to kill this SCV since this expansion wasn't really done. And hatchery is almost finished, and the extractor is done. And he actually pretty standard opening from both players, kind of, because they both catching up to each other, getting both expanding kind of early. I mean, Zerg player is a normal expansion, but for Legacy, I mean, LiquidJinro is a little bit earlier because he has to keep up with Legacy since he got the hatchery before the spawning pool. And these, oh, those are Zerglings, those drones again, and they really want to bring that SCV down. And this Overlord will be going to be making to the base eventually from this side, and two refineries are done. So LiquidJinro's catching up back on that gas because he needs those gas for getting some marauders, or maybe go switch to siege tank mode, or get some banshees. I don't know. But Legacy finish his expansion, get another queen, 2 queens. I think it's 2 queens. No, I only see 1 queen, so he should be getting a second queen pretty soon. And he's gonna be getting metabolic boost right now, and a spine crawl just for extra defense, because you never know, because those 4 marines can do some pretty good damage if you can micro them. Shoot and like kind of micro them back. You know how these Korean guys are doing. These guys are pro, man. You don't have to tell them how to play. They will tell you how to play, because these guys are born to play StarCraft 2. And there's still only 1 extractor from Legacy. He should be getting at least a couple more, and he's really not getting anything. He's just droning up, trying to make that early expansion count and get as many drones as he can, just to kind of outrun LiquidJinro, I guess. More minerals, and these Zerglings are going to be poking around over here, see exactly what's happening, seeing that the attack lab is going down on the barracks, a factory on the high ground, and another factory. So there's going to be 2 factories, so we might going to see a heavy mech build coming in from LiquidJinro, which is pretty should be a good build, because when you go really a lot of siege tanks, I think it's going to pay off eventually at the end. And this Overlord is going to be coming in on a high ground, not a high ground, but scooping, poking around, looking for something. I don't know what he's looking for, and there is still no lair from Legacy. he should be getting, there's really no roach war, nothing. He's just droning up like crazy, man. And supply difference really not that big, but the drone, look, drone butt, still drone butt. Don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, let's look at the units, and 40 drones over 31, but there's 2 mules, so these guys are pretty even, since the mules bringing like 150 minerals over the whole time they're alive. So don't really know, but there is a, oh, there's only Hellion. There is no siege tank coming in, which is kind of weird, but it's okay. But Infernal Brig-Knighter is being researched right now, which is good because he knows there is no roaches on the way. But there's a second hatchery, so Legacy's kind of trying to sit back, trying to make LiquidJinro work actually for the for the expansions, because he's just chilling in his base because he knows he has a little bit of the drone advantage. Look at these two expansions are saturated like a crazy, man, crazy, and 2 queens popping up, more Lara, and the Roach Warren is finally going down. Where's the Roach Warren? Oh, Roach Warren is right over here, and look at those Zerglings. They're gonna melt down to these Hellions really easily, especially when the Infernal Brig-Knighter is finished, and these Hellions can do so much damage right now if they can make it over here, because there's so many Zerglings are positioning. They're not really out of position, but they're trying to keep them alive as much as they can, because there's really nothing you can do about these Hellions, especially if they make it to the mineral line. They're going to be destroying those drones like crazy. One of the queens is almost down. These Zerglings are going to try to get us surrounded. One of the Hellions is going down, but look at this surrounding coming in from Legacy, doing great surrounding. Most of the Hellions are down, only 2 left, and look at these Zerglings are going to be catching up with these Hellions and probably going to be bringing them all the way down, but oh, one of them actually surviving. And look at these Marines are chilling. Just going to start shooting from a high ground, and a siege tank is on the field, and siege mode being researched right now, and that's about it. And medics, 2 more barracks coming in from LiquidJinro, which is pretty good. Going, actually, he is going heavy mech, and roaches are on the field from Legacy. And Legacy has a lot of minerals, so he really needs to start investing into something. Maybe get some mutas, and yes, actually, Spire is on the way, so we might gonna see some mutas and Bailings nest. We're gonna see some Bailings. Those little guys, I hate playing against Zerg player, because when you play against the Zerg, when you're a Terran, those Bailings are really annoying. And look at these Marines are just hitting the real roaches for no reason. These guys are like, we can't see you on the high ground, I'm sorry, but the siege tanks are in positioning. They should be sieging up right now. Get into siege mode so you can do some splash damage. Boom, son, look at the, I thought shoot him, but I guess not. And look at this positioning. This is great positioning, because this is really, you gotta scoop in your units like all the way over here just to make it to the base. And look at these Hellions. Hellions are actually doing work. All of these Zerglings are going down to these Hellions, so pretty much that was a lot of minerals wasted right there. Just saying, a lot of minerals been invested in those Zerglings, but Bailings are not going to be coming out of them. And he's getting melee weapons upgrade too, and there's more Zerglings on the field, but I don't see why he's getting so many Zerglings. I know he wants to get Bailings, but whoa, these guys are just bringing these Hellions like they had like no chance. And look at Legacy trying to be a little bit sneaky over here. Should have went for the gold expansion, but he's just going to be getting another one over here, trying to sneak it in. And this Overlord is still chilling over here, so he knows there's nothing cheesy, no Vikings or nothing coming out from this side, or Banshees. And LiquidJinro is going to be getting 2 more barracks, and he is going heavy mech. He already has 5 siege things on the field. These 2 expansions are oversaturated, so he should be expanding pretty soon. And Legacy Spire is finished. There's going to be 7 mutas actually coming in, so he's going for the muta Bailing Zergling Roach build, I guess, because that's what it looks like. But it's all good. We're going to see what's going to happen at the end, who's going to win, because these guys, look at the income difference. Whoa, actually LiquidJinro is ahead, and missile turrets are coming in, so he knows there's going to be mutas coming in towards this, and he's going to try to snipe as many siege tanks as he can, which is, one of them are going down, but the other one, nope, not going to happen, sir. Not on my watch. And Stimpack is actually finished. And I gotta say that Stimpaks takes forever now to research, especially when you're a Terran player. You gotta research Stimpack like the first thing you ever do in this game. As soon as you give access and attack lab, you better start researching the Stimpack, because it's gonna take like ages to finish it. It's like 170 seconds. That is way too long. And this is a perfect positioning for the missile turrets, because look, when these Muta's gonna try to come in through here, there's exactly 2 missile turrets waiting for this, because they can't really scoop it out, so they have to go around. And he's getting another missile turret over here, which is perfect. And armory is finished, so we're probably gonna see some Thors, and Thors are going to be coming in. It's only taking 60 seconds to build a Thor, which is really not that long. And yeah, this is all he has. A lot of Balings and a couple of Roaches mixed in and over there, and he's going to try to do as much Muta harassment as he can. But it's really not going to work since LiquidJinro got the missile turrets in the right positioning, and Thors, especially when the Thor is going to come on the field, it's going to be really hard to defend, because you got to really separate those Mutas, because Thors do a lot of splash damage to Mutas and they get owned so fast. But that's a pretty good number of Balings. 40 Balings? Oh, that's what it looks like, but I don't think there's 40. It's just a hotkey for all of those. And LiquidJinro is going to try to push out. Well, the Mutas are flying in a bad positioning right now, and those Marines actually do snipe, kind of, I think, one of them. Oh, yep, one of them actually did one down, because these guys are possessive. They just follow those guys like little truckers, and these guys are actually on exactly the same supply, except LiquidJinro is actually supply block, so he should be getting a couple supply depots. Yes, sir. And look at this. That's when you don't let Terran go heavy Mac, because he's going to be pushing out with the siege tank so slowly, setting up Marine Marauder. There's no Marauders, I apologize. Just the Marines, and going to try to use Marines just to snipe all the Balings out of position. And a Thor is in the field, so these Mutas I won't be able to snipe down these siege tanks. And look at this splash damage coming in from the siege tanks, and there's actually no upgrades for the siege tanks or Thors. But look at these Balings, they're just going to be flying into the field, and look. LiquidJinro is going to be using his Medivacs to spot the, kind of give some vision to the siege tanks. Siege tanks are so close to getting those. But look at this. There's really no Baling can actually come into these. Look how fast they pop, because the Marines are doing a great job. But there's another attack coming in from Legacy. He's going to try to surround the siege tanks, but the Balings are doing work. They're trying to focusing down on the Marines. There's more Marines coming in over here, but the Balings are all bringing down all the Marines. There's only a couple siege tanks over here, but the medics are in the perfect positioning, and all the army from Legacy is done. But look at this reinforcement coming in from LiquidJinro. LiquidJinro just doing work right now. Look at this Thor. This guy is so close. He has to bend down to shoot down the rocks. And man, Legacy tried to surround, but that's what happens when you let the Terran player to go heavy mech. It's going to be really hard to defend against this. And Overlord's Hunt is just begun for these Marines, and Marines are proceeding a couple more siege tanks over here. And I think this is going to be GG coming in from Legacy, because there's really not much he can do. These Roaches can do some damage, but I highly doubt it. And Legacy's probably going to be GGing right now. Yep. So this has been Game Number 1 between Legacy and LiquidJinro, and thank you for watching.